Okay, welcome to our today's session. And first, I'm glad to see all of you here, ready to listen, ready to learn, and of course, engage. So, whether you are here to expand your knowledge, to refine your skills, or gain new insights, your presence already shows your commitment to growth. Okay, but before we start our formal session, let us pray. Okay, Heavenly Father, as we begin this session, we come before you with a humble heart, seeking your wisdom and guidance. Thank you for the gift of learning, for the opportunity to grow, and for the knowledge that shapes our path. Grant us focus and clarity as we go through this session at our own pace. Help us to be disciplined, motivated, and open to new insights. May we not only gain understanding, but also the wisdom to apply it in ways that honor you. Bless our effort, Lord, and remind us that learning is not just for ourselves, but also for the people we serve. May this session enrich our minds, strengthen our character, and lead us to greater purpose. We offer this time to you, trusting that with your guidance, we will make the most of it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay. Uh, of course, allow me to share my slide. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening nga pala muna. Okay? I hope you're doing well. Okay, napaka-interesting ng ating topic today. Of course, okay, wait for a while. Okay, of course, in this session, we will explore important concepts that play a key role in financial governance and accountability. Of course, the goal is not just to understand theories, but to see how they apply in real-world situations. Okay? Ganda to, financial governance and accountability. Medyo interesting talaga siya. Okay? Okay, transparency and disclosure, syempre, it is very crucial in financial governance. Kasi hindi lang ito tungkol sa pagsunod sa batas. Okay? This is about the building trust with stakeholders like investors, creditors, and regulators. So when companies provide accurate and timely information, it allows stakeholders to make informed decision. So ensuring smooth and ethical financial operations. So now the question is, why is it transparency and disclosure so essential? So magbibigay tayo ng importance nung transparency and disclosure. And number one, of course, is the investor confidence. Okay? As I mentioned, transparency builds trust among investors by, of course, by providing a clear picture of the company's financial health and operations. And when a company openly shares accurate and timely information tulad ng financial statements, ng business strategies, ano ba yung risk and governance practices, it reduces uncertainty and helps investors make informed decisions. Okay? Halimbawa, if a publicly listed company regularly discloses its earning reports, market performance, at yung mga future projections, yung mga potential investors can assess whether the company is financially stable and mayroong growth potential. On the other hand, sa ilang banda, A lack of transparency, maaaring tulad ng hiding debts, tago natin yung utang, inflating profits, so masyadong pinapalaki yung kita, or delaying disclosure, ito can raise the red flags, di ba? And deter investors from committing their capital. In short, ang pagiging tapat at bukas sa operations and situations ng isang company ay mahalaga upang mapanatili at mapalakas ang tiwala ng mga investors. Kasi ito yung pundasyon ng matatag at matagumpay na negosyo. Next is let's talk about the market efficiency. Okay? Timely and accurate disclosure of financial information really helps in the efficient functioning of the markets by reducing information asymmetry. When we say information asymmetry, it occurs when one party in a transactions has a more or better information than the other. Okay? So, which can lead to unfair advantages and market inefficiencies. So, transparency ensures that all investors, whether big institution or small retail investors, have equal access to the relevant financial data, creating a level playing field. So, imagine natin yung situations, di ba? Where only a few people have access doon sa mga napaka-importante or crucial financial data. Well, this leads to unfair advantages, which transparency helps eliminate. So, yun ang purpose ng transparency. Halimbawa, yung company executive or select insiders, di ba, receive earnings report ahead of the public. They could buy or sell stocks based on this privileged information before the market reacts. So this kind of selective disclosures creates an uneven market. So where ordinary investors are at a disadvantage. Pero kung ang company naman ay nag-release ng financial statements, earning reports, and material disclosures on time at in a fair manner, it ensures that all market participants can make informed investment decision simultaneously. So sa madaling salita, ang pagbibigay ng tamang impormasyon sa tamang oras ay hindi lang nakakatulong sa investors, kundi nagpapalakas din ng kumpiyansa sa buong merkado. So kapag kasi patas yung access sa informations, nagiging mas predictable at stable ang market movements na nagdudulot ng mas maayos at epektibong daloy ng kalakalan. Okay? The third is the regulatory compliance. Adhering to disclosure requirement prevents legal penalties and it promotes a culture of accountability. May mga regulatory bodies tayo tulad ng the Bureau of Internal Revenue or the BIR, the Securities and Exchange Commissions or the SEC, and other financial watchdogs, di ba? Impose strict guidelines on financial reporting to ensure that the companies operate with integrity and fairness. So when the businesses comply with these requirements, they not only avoid fines, they not only avoid lawsuits or even delisting from the stock exchange, but also demonstrate a commitment to ethical business practices. Kasi, di ba, maraming kumpanya ang napapatawan ng mabibigat na parusa because of kakulangan ng tamang financial reporting, something that can be avoided through proper transparency. May mga kumpanyang nabagsak dyan dahil sa fraudulent financial statement tulad ng Enron at Wirecard na parehong nasangkot sa financial misrepresentation. So dahil sa kanilang kakulangan sa transparency, hindi lang sila naharap sa mabigat na legal na kaso, kundi nawala rin yung tiwala ng investors. At of course, yun yung naging dahilan ng pagbagsak ng kanilang operation. So kapag malinaw at tapat yung isang kumpanya sa kanilang financial disclosure, hindi lang sila nakakaiwas sa legal problems, kundi mas nagkakaroon din ito ng reputations bilang isang responsible na na negosyo. And of course, this accountability fosters trust, not just among the investors, but also among the employees, the customers, and regulators, ensuring that the company's long-term stability and success. Okay? Now let's talk about the stakeholders' trust. So transparency fosters trust with stakeholders by, of course, demonstrating the company's commitment to honest and ethical practices. Because when a company openly shares accurate financial reports, business decisions, and the risk factors, it reassures the stakeholders that it operates with integrity. So this trust extends beyond investors. So sa customers, sa suppliers, sa empleyado mo, and even sa government regulatory bodies, they feel more confident in engaging with a company that values honesty and accountability. Kasi kung honest yung isang kumpanya sa final standing nito, di ba mas maraming tao yung magtitiwala dito mula sa investor hanggang sa empleyado, external and internal stakeholders. Kasi kapag malinaw yung financial health ng isang company, walang itinatagong utang or liabilities or mas magiging handa ang investor na maglagay ng puhunan dito. So, sa parehong paraan, yung mga empleyado ay of course motivated at yung loyalty nandoon, di ba? Kasi alam nilang stable at maayos yung kanilang pinagtatrabahuan. Kahit yung customers at suppliers, di ba? Mas malamang makikipag-transaction niya sa kumpanyang may reputasyon, okay, ng transparency. Kasi ito yung indikasyon ng isang stable and resilient na negosyo. So, in the long run, transparency does more than just comply with the regulations. It really builds lasting relationships, strengthens corporate reputations, and ensures sustainable growth. Okay? Yan, okay. When we say financial reporting and auditing, lahat naririnig na natin to, di ba? And financial reporting, it involves preparing financial statements that reflect a company's financial position, performance, and the cash flows. So these reports, including the balance sheet or yung tinatawag nating statement of financial position, income statement or statement of financial performance, and of course the cash flow statement, provides stakeholders with essential insights into the company's health and decision-making process. Di ba? Yung proper financial reporting, yan yung nag-ensure sa mga investors, sa creditor, at yung regulatory agencies na magkaroon ng clear and accurate view of the company's operations and sustainability. Sa kabilang banda naman, when we say auditing, it refers to an independent examination of these financial reports na sinisigurado na ito na accurate at compliant with the accounting standards and regulations. So, auditors, whether internal or external, they assess whether the company's financial statements present a true and fair view of its financial status. Okay? They verify transactions, evaluate internal controls, and check for any signs of misstatement or fraud. Kasi, halimbawa, kung isang kumpanya ay nagdeklara ng mataas na kita sa kanilang financial statements, trabaho ng auditor na suriin kung tama at makatotohanan yung mga numbers o kung mayroong discrepancy sa kanila na kailangan itama. kung may hindi pagkakatugma o hindi pagsunod sa accounting standards, maaring magbigay ang auditor ng qualified opinion or adverse opinion na maaaring magdulot ng pagkawala ng tiwala mula sa investors at regulators. Pero kung fairly presented or fairly stated naman yung mga numbers sa FS, pwede sila mabigyan ng tinatawag nating unqualified or unmodified opinion. So, magkasabay na gumagana yung financial reporting at auditing para mapanatili yung tinatawag nating transparency at yung integridad sa isang negosyo. So, financial reporting provides the data while auditing ensures that this data is accurate, reliable, and in line with established financial regulations. Okay? Let's talk about the key components of financial reporting. As I mentioned, financial reporting, it plays a crucial role in an organization by ensuring the transparency, accountability, and informed decision making. It provides a structured way of communicating financial performance and positions to stakeholders. So the key components of financial reporting includes FS, the financial statements, and the reporting standards. So, pag-usapan muna natin yung FS. FS are structured report that summarize a company's financial position and performance. These are essential tools for the management, for the investors, the creditors, and regulatory agencies in assessing a company's financial health. As I mentioned, yung balance sheet kanina and of course, yung or statement of financial position. So it provides a snapshot of a company's financial standing at a specific point in time. So it details the company's assets, liabilities, and shareholders' equity. Kaya nga may formula tayo na asset is equal to liabilities plus equity. Halimbawa, yung company ay mayroong pagmamayari na 5 million worth of equipment. So, mayroon siyang 2 milyong utang. So, yung 3 milyon, owner's equity siya. It reflects in the financial standing. So, investor can use this information para ma-measure yung company stability. Okay? Next is the income statement or mas kilala natin sa statement of financial performance or yung tinatawag nating profit and loss statement. Kasi ito yung nagpapakita ng financial performance over a specific period. Pwedeng monthly, pwedeng quarterly, or annually. No? So binibigyan niya yung detalye ng revenue, expenses, profit, or kung may losses man. So formula is net income is equal to revenue minus expenses. Halimbawa, yung retail store, kumita ng 10 milyon sa sales niya, pero mayroon siyang 7 million na operating costs and expenses. So, mayroon siyang net income na 3 million. Okay? This statement helps the stakeholders evaluate the profitability and operational efficiency. Next is the cash flow statement. So the cash flow statement tracks kung ano ba yung galaw ng pera, 'di ba? In and out dun sa business. So pwede natin siyang makategorize into three activities. We have the operating, investing, and financing. Okay? So operating, ito yung cash generated from the core business operations. While investing, ito yung cash spent or earned from investment such as buying or selling the equipment. And of course, we have the financing activities. It is cash from issuing shares, pwedeng borrowing money, or repaying loans. Diba? So, yun yung So, operating, investing, and financing activities. Yun yung makikita natin sa cash flow statement. Next is the reporting standards. Okay. Companies must prepare financial report based on the established accounting framework to ensure uniformity, transparency, and of course the comparability across the industries and countries. And financial reports serve as the foundation of decision making by investors, by business owners, government regulators, and pwede rin lenders. Kasi kung without standardized reporting, comparing financial performance across the businesses would be difficult, leading to inefficiencies and a lack of investor confidence. Okay? To address this, so companies follow specific financial reporting standards that dictate how financial transactions should be recorded and presented. Meron tayong major framework, yung IFRS and the GAAP. So the International Financial Reporting Standards, di ba? Yan, globally recognized accounting framework na ginagamit yan sa more than 140 countries kasama ang Philippines. It ensures that consistency in financial reporting, making it easier for the international investors to compare FS across companies and industry. So halimbawa, yung multi-company with operation in different countries, dapat mag-follow sila sa IFRS para yung investor can analyze and compare its performance worldwide. Bigay tayo ng example na multinational company, yung San Miguel, di ba? It operates in food, beverage, energy, and infra sectors. So, yan, may mga subsidiaries sila in multiple countries. So, if each subsidiary use a different accounting standard, comparing their FS would be complicated. However, by following the IFRS, investor can analyze and compare the company's overall performance on a global scale without needing adjustment for different accounting methods. Okay? So, GAAP. This is a set of accounting principles followed mainly in the US and some other countries. So, GAAP focuses on consistency, full disclosure, and prudence in financial reporting. Unlike IFRS, ang IFRS kasi is a principle base, while GAAP is a rule base, meaning it provides more specific instruction on how transactions should be recorded. So why are these components important? So para sa mga business owner, kasi it helps track financial performance and make strategic decisions. For investors, it provides transparency and assurance the company is financially stable. Para naman sa government at sa mga regulators, it ensures compliance with financial reporting laws and tax regulations, di ba? Para naman sa mga lenders, banks and creditors assess financial reports before approving loans or credit. So mayroon silang mga kanya-kanyang interest, di ba? Kung depende kung sino yung stakeholder. So by ensuring accurate financial reporting, businesses can maintain trust, attract investor, and of course support long-term financial success. Okay, let's continue. Let me share my slide. Okay. Wait for a while. Okay. Now, the next topic that we are going to discuss is about the importance of course, the auditing. We all know that auditing is very important or mayroon siyang crucial role in financial governance because it ensures that the financial reports are accurate, complete, and of course compliant with the regulations. It also enhances transparency and accountability, which gives the stakeholders confidence in a company's financial health. So, without proper auditing, companies may unintentionally or deliberately, di ba, misrepresent the financial data. So, leading to a bad investment decisions, regulatory penalties, or even the financial disasters. And of course, a well-executed audit reduces risk. We cannot eliminate the risk because we have an inherent risk. So, pwede nating mabawasan or pwede nating yun nga, ma-minimize yung risk. Pero we cannot totally eliminate the risk. Okay? Strengthen corporate governance and of course, upholds the business integrity. So, nandito yung mga why auditing is very important. Number one is the accuracy verifications. Of course, audit ensures that FS provide a true and fair view of a company's financial position, ba? Pero why it matters, di ba? Because FS are the foundations for decision making by business owners, by investors, and by lenders. So if the numbers are misstated, yan man ay intentional or not intentional, stakeholders might make a poor financial decisions that could result in significant losses. Bawa, a company overstating its revenue to appear more profitable than it actually is may attract investors. Pero when the truth is revealed, stock prices may crash, leading to a more huge financial losses for the shareholders. Conversely, a business underreporting its profit, nababa niyang profit niya, to reduce tax liabilities may face legal consequences once authorities detect the discrepancy. So natandaan natin noong 2018, di ba si Wirecard, yung German fintech company, was caught in a $2 billion accounting scandal after the auditors discovered that the missing funds it claimed to have in its bank account never existed. So this led to the company's collapse and criminal investigations against its executives. So with auditing, investors and regulators are assured that financial reports are free from material misstatement, whether caused by fraud or by error. Kasi if naman, without auditing, companies may present misleading FS, leading to financial instability and loss of investor trust. Next is the risk mitigations. Of course, audits help identify and mitigate the risks related to financial misstatement, fraud, and non-compliance. So bakit ito importante? Business risks arise from errors, fraudulent activities, or regulatory violations and operational inefficiencies. An audit assesses this risk and recommends corrective actions para ma-safeguard yung company from the potential losses. Bawa, yung internal audit in a retail company may discover cash flow irregularities in one of its branches. So the company can act immediately to investigate the issue and prevent further losses. In large organization, external auditors may identify potential tax liabilities, before the government imposes fines. So this allows the company to correct the issue proactively. Andaan natin yung Enron scandal, di ba? One of the infamous accounting and fraud cases, the Enron corporations in US, di ba? Use accounting loopholes and fake FS para ma-inflate yung earnings nila at maitago yung kanilang utang, di ba? Yun nga, yung si Arthur Andersen, di ba? Yung one of the biggest accounting firm at the time failed to properly audit Enron's book. So when the fraud was uncovered in 2001, Enron collapsed. So shareholders lost billions, employees lost their jobs and pensions, and of course, yun nga, si Andersen, yun, yung accounting firm nag-shutdown. So this scandal led to the Sarbanes-Oxley Acts or the SOX of 2002, di ba? Which imposed stricter auditing regulations to prevent the similar cases. So kung may auditing sana, businesses can detect financial risks early and take steps to prevent them. Pero kung walang auditing, companies remain exposed to hidden risks that may result in fraud, financial losses, or the bankruptcy. Next is the regulatory assurance. Regular audits ensure compliance with financial reporting, like sa tax natin, of course, and the industry standards, which reduce the risk of the legal penalties. So why it matters? Government and regulatory bodies impose strict financial reporting requirements para ma-maintain yung tinatawag nating fair and transparent market. And companies that fail to comply may face fines, pwede magkaroon ng lawsuit, and the reputational damage. So in the Philippines, publicly listed companies must comply with the what we call the PFRS, the Philippine Financial Reporting Standards, which are aligned with the IFRS, the International Financial Reporting Standards. Regular audits ensure that they follow these global accounting standards. So if a company misreports income para mag-evade ng taxes, a tax audit of the BIR may result in hefty penalties and of course, possible legal actions. So yung tinatawag natin, 'di ba yung Volkswagen emission scandals, 'di ba? So nangyari yan 2015 and the Volkswagen was found guilty of manipulating emission data to make it cars appear more environmentally friendly. So the company had to pay billions in fines and settlements and suffered severe reputational damage. So if independent auditors had detected these irregularities earlier, they could have avoided one of the biggest corporate scandals in automotive history. So kung may auditing sana, companies stay compliant with the regulations and avoid legal trouble. But kung without auditing, businesses may unknowingly or deliberately violate regulations, leading to severe penalties. Okay. Also, part of the key functions is, of course, uh, auditor play a key role in detecting and preventing fraudulent activities by analyzing financial records, transactions, and of course, internal control. So, why is it important? Diba? Naalala ninyo yung mga fraudulent activities such as the embezzlement, asset misappropriations, financial statement fraud. So can lead to severe financial losses, di ba? And reputational damage. So auditors help companies identify vulnerabilities and implement safeguard. So a corporate audit may reveal ghost employees on the payroll kung saan binabayaran yung fake na employee created by the corrupt managers. Auditor may detect false expense claims or inflated supplier invoices, helping prevent financial losses. Okay? So with auditing, fraud is detected early, preventing major financial disaster. And of course, the fraud may go unnoticed for years, leading to massive losses kung wala namang auditing. Okay? And of course, investors, creditors, and other stakeholders trust audited report, di ba? Doon yung pinanghahawakan nila because it leads to a better investment decision and financial stability. And yun, investors rely on accurate financial statements before investing in company. And of course, kung ikaw naman ay taga-bangko, nire-require natin yung audited FS bago mag-approve ng loan. Or kung business partner, prefer working with companies that of course maintain transparent financial practices. So, auditing is not just a legal requirement. It is a fundamental pillar of a good financial governance because it ensures that financial reports are accurate, free from fraud, or compliant with the regulations. It fostering trust and stability in businesses, whether it's accuracy, verification, risk mitigation, regulatory compliance, fraud detection, or investor confidence. Auditing helps protect companies from financial disaster and it enhances long-term success. So by ensuring strong audit practices, businesses can build credibility, avoid financial pitfalls, and thrive in increasingly competitive global market. Now, the question is, ano ba ang role ng internal auditors in governance? Napaka-importante, di ba? Because by providing an independent and objective evaluation of a company's financial statement, di ba? Their assessment ensure transparency, accuracy, and compliance with the standards. It fosters trust among stakeholders. And by conducting audit without bias, external auditors help detect error, fraud, and inefficiency. So, strengthening corporate integrity. And yun nga, lagi nating sinasabi, it enhances the investor confidence. So their work also supports the board members and executives in making informed decision. So the key function of the external auditors is, of course, number one is the independent verifications. Diba? External auditors provide an unbiased review of a company's financial statement para ma-ensure na ito ay fairly represent the company's financial position. This verification is important for stakeholders like investors, creditors, and regulators because it confirms the financial reports adhere to the IFRS or the GAAP. Okay? Bawa, kung mayroon mga company nag-report ng 100 million in revenue, auditors check source documents, bank records, and financial statements para ma-confirm nila yung tinatawag nating accuracy. The second is the fraud detection and prevention. The external auditor, tumutulong yan to uncover financial misstatement. Either intentional man yan na fraud or unintentional or error lang. They assess the financial transactions, they test accounting records, and look for signs of manipulations such as overstated revenues or understated liabilities. If fraud is detected, auditors recommend corrective actions and of course suggest internal control improvement to prevent future occurrence. Halimbawa, mayroong empleyado nag-create ng fake supplier invoices para magnakaw sa company. So auditor might detect discrepancy through forensic accounting techniques. Kaya tayo may tinatawag na audit program, di ba? Audit strategy. Yeah. Next is the internal control assessment. Ito nakakatuwa tong internal control assessment because internal control are policies and procedures that help companies safeguard assets. So it also for the prevention of the fraud and of course ensuring accurate financial reporting. Tinitingnan muna ng auditor, ini-evaluate muna ng auditor gaano ka-effective yung internal control. At i-identify niya kung mayroong mga weaknesses that could lead to a financial misstatement or operational inefficiency. Halimbawa, the auditor may find the company lacks segregation of duties na same employee yung nag-handle ng cash receipts tapos siya din yung nagbabank recon. Di ba? Parang mataas ang tendency na magkaroon ng fraud risk. So they would recommend control improvement. Okay. Next is the stakeholders assurance. Investors, creditors, government agencies, and the public rely on audited FS. Diba? So, external auditor enhance credibility na ini-ensure nila na yung financial reports ay accurate ang mga naka-reflect doon. Okay? At yun, sinasabi nila, ina-attest nila na kung ano ba talaga ang financial health status ng company. Okay? And of course, they also give the objective recommendations. Beyond identifying issues, external auditors also offer professional advice on the financial management, paano ba yung tinatawag nating risk mitigations, strengthening internal controls, improving operational efficiency. Okay? So, the question is, why is the role of external auditors important? So, of course, it protects the investors and stakeholders from financial misstatement and fraud. Second, ensures compliance with the regulatory bodies like the SEC and BIR. Improve corporate governance by strengthening the internal controls and financial discipline. Enhances credibility in the financial market, attracting more investor and the lender. So external auditors are not just watchdogs, okay? But also trusted advisors who help companies operate efficiently and ethically. So yung role nila ay very important in maintaining financial stability and public trust in the businesses. Okay? Next is accountability to stakeholders. Medyo mabigat, di ba? Accountability kasi means that a company's management and board are responsible for explaining and justifying their decision to those with a vested interest in the company. So, in short, hindi lang ito tungkol sa pag-report ng numbers. Kailangan nilang ipakita na tama at makatarungan ang kanilang financial decisions. So, they are expected to explain and justify this decision to investors, to employees, to customers, regulators, and other stakeholders. Now, the question is, ano ba yung mga elements of stakeholders accountability? Stakeholders accountability is a crucial aspect of good corporate governance. It ensures that companies operate transparently, responsibly, and ethically while keeping the interest of their stakeholders in mind. This involves regular communications, active engagement, continuous performance measurement, prompt responsiveness, and ethical decision making. So, punta tayo sa number one. As I mentioned, regular communications. So, a company's success depends on just on how well it performs, but also on how well it keeps its stakeholders informed. When we say regular communication, it is essential because it allows investors, the employees, and the regulators to stay updated on the company's financial standing. We also lay the strategic directions. What are the potential risks and the overall market outlook? So this information is typically shared through financial statements, investor meetings, press releases, and annual reports. Okay? Next is the stakeholders engagement. Stakeholders engagement goes beyond by just providing information. It also involves actively listening to and addressing the concern of those who have vested interest in the company. So, a responsible company does not operate in isolation. Instead, it takes time to hold discussions, conduct surveys, and create channels where stakeholders can voice their opinions. Take for an instant, yung mga multinational corporations, they host annual shareholders meeting. So during the meeting, investors have the opportunity to ask executives about the company's financial strategies, corporate responsibility initiatives, and what are the long-term growth plans. Similarly, an organization that values employee engagement may conduct regular town hall meetings na tinatawag, where workers can discuss workplace challenges and suggest improvements. So when companies engage with their stakeholders, they build stronger relationship, improve decision making, and demonstrate a commitment to accountability. The third is what we call the performance measurement. So to ensure the continuous growth and stability, businesses must monitor their performance using metrics. So tulad ng KPI, the key performance indicators, because it help assess financial health, the operational efficiency, and the long-term sustainability. So without proper measurement, companies may struggle to identify areas that need improvement or fail to recognize early warning signs of financial troubles. For example, a retail company may track its gross profit margin to determine gaano ba ka-effective yung managing costs relative to sales. So, at the same time, di ba, it might monitors its inventory turnover ratio para ma-ensure niya yung product are selling at a healthy rate, yung ma-avoid yung overstocking or yung tinatawag nating shortages. So, by analyzing these performance metrics, the company can make informed decisions tulad ng pag-a-adjust ng price, di ba? Or ma-optimize yung tinatawag nating supply chain. So ultimately, performance measurement is about ensuring that the companies is not just surviving, but thriving in a competitive market. Next is the responsiveness. Mabilis kasi ang galaw natin ngayon, di ba? So companies must be quick to address issues that, of course, affect their stakeholders, whether it is a financial downturn, an operational failure, or a public relations crisis. Responsiveness is key to maintaining trust and stability. Isipin niyo yung mga company na naharap sa backlash due to an environment concern tulad ng mga excessive carbon emissions. So, if the company ignores the issues or responds too slowly, the risk of damaging its reputations, losing investors, and facing regulatory penalties, medyo mataas ang tendency. However, if they take immediate action such as implementing sustainability initiatives, mag-reduce ng carbon footprint, and communicating transparently with the stakeholders, probably it can regain the public trust and even strengthen its brand image. So being responsive means acknowledging problems, diba? After that, finding solutions and ensuring that stakeholders feel heard and valued. And of course, kadagdag natin dito is the ethical decision making. Okay? Uh, at the core of stakeholders accountability is the ethical decision making. Companies must uphold integrity in their financial practices, avoid misleading report, and ensure that their operations align with responsible business principles. Because unethical practices such as fraudulent financial report, mayroong corruptions, may unfair labor practices, pwede ito kasing mag-lead to severe consequences na pwedeng magkaroon pa ng legal actions, pwedeng magkaroon ng mawalan ng investor confidence at yun nga, yung reputations ng company pwedeng ma-damage. So consider a company facing pressure, di ba? From the investor to manipulate FS in order to make its earning appear stronger than they actually are. So a company committed to ethical business practices, of course, will refuse to engage in such deceptive tactics. Even if it means, di ba, na mababa yung report nilang kita. In doing so, it upholds its credibility and long-term sustainability, showing that it values integrity over temporary gains. So by maintaining ethical standards, companies build long-term trust, attract responsible investor, and foster a positive corporate culture. So the question is, ano ba yung mga benefits yan, of accountability? Accountability is, of course, a foundation of a good corporate governance, ensuring that business operates with transparency, integrity, and responsibility. So, tingnan natin kung ano yung benefits ng accountability in how they contribute to a company's overall stability and growth. Number one is it enhances reputation. Ano siyang pag-usapan? A strong reputation ay sinasabi na one of the most valuable assets a company can have. Di ba? Ang taas ng value mo, market value mo. And accountability plays a major role in building and maintaining it. When a business consistently shows transparency in its financial report and ethical conduct, it earns public trust and it attracts more investors, customers, or top-tier employees. Diba? Halimbawa, yung company openly discloses its financial performance, adheres to ethical labor practices, at they actively engage in corporate social responsibility initiatives, talagang makakapag-gain niya ng positive image sa industry. At yung mga investors na yan, more willing yan to put their money into a well-managed companies. Customers prefer to support ethical brand and skilled professionals. Siyempre, mas gusto magtrabaho sa may strong reputations, di ba? So accountability gives a company a competitive advantage, setting it apart from those that engage in a questionable business practices. Next is the informed decision making. Good decision making relies on accurate, timely, and transparent information. Whether it's investor evaluating a company's profitability, executive planning strategic moves, or employees assessing job stability, accountability ensures that stakeholders have access to a reliable data to guide their decisions. Kasi uh, iba't ibang stakeholders, may iba't ibang interest yan. So, ano bang meron para sa amin dyan? So, dapat transparent at may accountability to have an informed decision making. Okay? Next is the regulatory alignment. Okay? Compliance with the financial and legal regulations is critical for businesses as failure to do so can result in hefty fines, lawsuit, or even shutdowns. At dyan nakakatulong yung accountability because accountability ensures that a company aligns with industry standards, the government policy, and financial reporting requirements, thereby avoiding legal troubles and reputational damage. Okay? Next is the long-term sustainability. So, a company that prioritizes accountability does not just focus on short-term profits. Mas iniisip nito kung paano magsusustain ng mas matagal. So, financial stability, ethical leadership, and sound governance contribute to a company's ability to navigate economic challenges and remain competitive in the industry. Okay? For example, a company that invests in a sustainable business, yan, such as environmentally friendly production methods or ethical sourcing, they are more resilient during market fluctuations. So instead of cutting corners for immediate financial gain, they focus on strategies that promote steady growth, maintain customer loyalty, and of course, adapt to changing industries' demand. Diba? So by fostering a culture of accountability, businesses create a solid foundation for long-term success, ensuring that they continue to thrive regardless of economic uncertainty. So my final thoughts here is accountability is more than just a legal obligation. It is a strategic advantages that enhances a company's reputations, support informed decision making, ensures compliance with regulations, and secures long-term sustainability. Okay? Now, uh, the integral role of auditing in stakeholders' accountability. As I mentioned, auditing is a fundamental pillar of corporate governance, reinforcing accountability and ensuring that businesses operate with transparency and integrity. So it acts as a safeguard, di ba? Kasi verifying financial records, detecting irregularities, and of course ensuring compliance with regulations and ethical standards. Sabi nga, without auditing, companies could easily misrepresent their financial position, leading to poor decision making or loss of investor confidence and even legal consequences. So, ito, titingnan natin, paano ba natin ma-uphold yung stakeholders accountability? Number one is strengthening the corporate oversight. Okay? One of the primary function of the auditing is to keep executives and managers accountable. External auditor, ang role nila is to ensure that company leaders act in the best interest of the stakeholders rather than manipulating financial reports or the financial reports for the personal or the corporate gain. Next is, of course, promoting ethical practices because auditing discourages fraudulent activities and it promotes ethical financial behavior within the organization. The mere presence of an audit process deters executives and employees from engaging in fraud, tax evasions, or financial misrepresentations. Third is ensuring fair representations. Stakeholders, especially the investors, the lenders, and of course the government regulators, rely on financial report to assess the company's stability and growth potentials. At dito, napakahalaga ng ginagampanan ng auditor because um, they ensure that these reports accurately reflect the true financial position of an organization. And of course, next is the supporting strategic decision making. Reliable financial reports are essential for making informed business decision, whether it's companies planning for major expansion or an investor deciding whether to allocate funds or a bank evaluating a loan applications. So audited FS provide accurate data needed to guide these choices. So for the final thoughts about this topic, when we say auditing, it is not just a regulatory requirement. It is significant process that upholds stakeholders' accountability, promotes ethical business practices, and ensures financial transparency. Okay? So by identifying financial irregularities, strengthening corporate oversight, and providing accurate financial data, auditing foster trust between the business and the stakeholders. So companies that prioritize thorough and transparent auditing practices not only protect themselves from financial misconduct, but it also builds the long-term credibility and success in an increasingly competitive business environment. Okay. Okay. Ayan. So, medyo mahaba ang ating naging topic for this session. Okay? Uh, let's wrap up the topic. Of course, I want to thank each of you for your time, for learning, because learning, di ba, doesn't stop here. So what really matters is how we apply these insights in real world situations. So I hope that this discussion has given you a clear perspective on financial governance and accountability. Medyo mabigat nga lang talaga siya, no? Pero nalaman natin or napag-aralan natin kung gaano ba ka-significant itong topic na to. So whether it's for your career, for personal growth, or decision making for the future, I encourage you to take what you've learned today and put it into actions. Because remember, knowledge is most powerful when applied. So please keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep growing. Thank you, and I look forward to our next session. Stay curious and motivated. And once again, magandang umaga, good morning, magandang hapon, good afternoon, and of course, good evening sa ating lahat. So, lagi tayong mag-iingat and stay healthy and keep safe. Ingat. See you on the next session.